we're gonna continue before I was rudely interrupted.
By the announcements.
Yes, by the announcements. But anyways, this show relies on precise timing that makes everything look like it's falling apart. How do you approach directing something that supposedly goes wrong, but actually does exactly what it's supposed to do?
I think being very specific with what I want and how I want to go about doing it. When I picked the show, I was aware from the beginning that I was going to have to do some research about how I wanted to do different gimmicks. There's actually been a lot of YouTube videos online that have been influential in how I've designed it. I've kind of copied the way other people have done it. Because it's extremely unconventional ways of doing the set. I mean, basically all the set pieces are built differently than they should be, and you have to balance out safety with function, and it's just been different in the design and in the rehearsal process. So I've had to be a little bit ahead of schedule with building for the show, which has been a good thing because I'm normally behind schedule on that anyway. So yeah.
Well, that's good that you're above schedule.
I know.
So we can get things done and we
Exactly.
can practice with the set pieces because I know that's really important. We don't need anyone actually getting hurt. And
Exactly.
wrong,
Exactly. We want everything in the show goes wrong to go right.
Yes, exactly. So, speaking of that, so we're going into more. I think we only have like a few, like 10, 15 pages left, I think.
Yeah.
So that's like a week and a half left.
We have a week.
A
we
week?
have 1 week left.
So we have 1 week before full runs.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think the process has been overall with the cast?
I think it's been good. It's been challenging doing 2 separate casts fully. I've never directed a show before that has had more than one main cast or more than one like full group of kids. Because we have the main cast and the understudy cast in the show. So it's been somewhat of a challenge in a way, but it's also been fun because you get to see different people's interpretations of different characters. And I think it has slowed the process down a little bit because obviously if we just had one set of people doing all this stuff, we would probably be done with the show by now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's really cool to get to see how different people interpret things differently, and both interpretations can be correct, and some are funnier and some are more serious. So it has slowed the process down a little bit, but I think it's been helpful and useful, and I think it's going to be good for building a program. But overall, I've learned from this process, number one, we have plenty of time to get stuff done. So I'm probably going to shorten this process next year, and we're probably going to do a more condensed timeline. But it has gone well because we've had enough time to explore a little bit more than we would have otherwise.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So what would you say is the most challenging thing or scene that we have done that is kind of hard to put on?
The most challenging scene so far is actually, it's the scenes that rely on characters to interact as a gimmick instead of using set pieces as a gimmick. It's really easy to act when you have physical props to guide the process. It's kind of difficult to act when it's just you and another person because your props are always going to do exactly what they're supposed to do. A phone is always going to act like a phone. A wall is always going to act like a wall. A door is always going to act like a door. You can open and close a door in a funny way because you have control over it, but you don't have control over another actor. So the hardest scenes that we've done so far and the ones that need the most work are the scenes where a gimmick is happening. Like, for instance, there's a scene where one character is consistently dropping a line and characters have to keep repeating over and over and over what they're saying to try and move the scene along. That scene has been difficult, not because the kids don't know their lines, not because they don't know the blocking, but because they're all reacting and responding a little bit differently every time, and it's really nailing down the timing of those kinds of scenes can really be a challenge because you don't always know what someone's going to do. So that's actually been the most challenging, is where a scene is supposed to be funny and a gimmick, but the gimmick is based on timing and tone from the actors themselves instead of set pieces or props or things like that. And I think getting comfortable and really having the lines down is just essential to getting those scenes down. And they have the potential to either be the funniest scenes in the show or the least funny scenes in the show. And so that's part of the difficulty with them, is it's kind of an all or nothing, whereas some of the other ones are a lot more stable.
Yeah, you just find that balance between, Yeah. So, how do you like keep rehearsals fun or like energetic while we're there? Like even while we're doing scenes over and over again that are supposed to be funny, and yet some people can, while doing those funny scenes, it can become like doing it like, I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah, how to get the scenes to not become boring,
Yeah.
or how to get it not become frustrating, doing the same scene over and over and over. And I mean, for me personally, I'm extremely unstructured, which is part of my, signature style, because I'm of the opinion, and whenever I did shows when I was younger, this was always something that I leaned into, and I always thought I was good at, which is why I have this style. But I trust the instincts of the actors. And there are some students I've had before who just, for lack of a better term, don't have instincts. Like they don't know what to do. They need to be told. And that's fine. There's some actors I've had that are really good who just need very specific guidance. But other actors I've worked with before, and the ones who I've personally seen go on to be very successful in other things, like in college, are the ones who have an idea, have a plan, and can kind of come up with stuff in the moment, on the spot, and do something appropriately, but also differently, and it creates something new, it creates something unique each time. And really just letting kids have the freedom to do that, I think, keeps stuff very funny, because I don't know what they're going to do, and that keeps it interesting. Sometimes they don't even know what they're going to do next, and it keeps it interesting for them, and it keeps everyone engaged, and it keeps everything moving. It doesn't get boring, because you're not watching the same scene over and over and over and over and over again. Every single time you do it, it's tweaked a little bit differently, or someone can, move to a different spot, or say a slightly different joke or something like that. And I think that's what keeps it funny, and that's what keeps theater so fun, in my opinion, is that you're never going to see the exact same thing twice. So it's not like watching the same scene from a movie over and over and over again. It's truly seeing the same scene done different ways almost every time.
Thanks for that. Anyways, so what are some things that you've been most proud of, like seeing the cast and crew do with that?
That really the same answer to the last question. Doing things in an authentic way. And a lot of kids have come up to me and asked, what do I need to do better? What do I need to do different? What can I improve on? Stuff like that. And, my first answer is always learn your lines. Because as soon as you learn your lines, you can become more authentic in your character. But that's always thing number 2, is so once you have your lines down, that allows you the opportunity and the freedom to become more authentic in your character and to make different decisions. One of my personal things that I'm always most proud of, and I notice most and I remember most from kids, is not whether or not they do a scene right every time. What I remember most is when they have a scene down so well, and they have their lines down so well, and they know the flow of the scene so well, that they can do the scene different almost every time they do it, and it's still right, and it still moves the scene along, and they're covering the same bases, they're saying the same lines, but they're saying it differently, and it creates a whole new thing. And I'm always so impressed by the decisions that different actors can make, because I never anticipate stuff like that, and I think that's what makes those scenes authentic and those characters real. So that's what always impresses me the most.
Speaking of cast, in rehearsals, we have some stragglers from, different casts come in for different rehearsals.
Yeah.
And, each rehearsal, there is a class clown. So who would you think is the one that's making everybody laugh during rehearsals?
Making everyone laugh? Ooh, that's a good one. Ellie.
Ellie?
Yep, Ellie Forgan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. I mean, for the main cast, Ellie Forgan. For understudies, probably Ty Rabaglia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Yeah, he is very funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this shows things that are supposed to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, like, if we were to do, like, if our characters, main and understudy, were actually put in this situation, who do you think would actually survive?
I don't know.
Like, in real life.
Like in real life?
Yes. Like, somebody actually died, like, was it Jonathan? Charles.
Charles Haversham
Charles,
actually gets murdered in his own home.
Like,
on his
and like the people that were playing. How do you think?
So not the actors, but like the characters of the show who would survive. So if the murder at Haversham Manor was actually happening,
yes, and like the people who are playing it, are those people.
Well, technically, Charles Haversham is the one who survives.
Yeah.
So I would say him because he's playing 4D chess,
Mm-hmm.
Like he plants a fake bottle of cyanide after discovering the real bottle of cyanide next to like his bed or something like that to throw off the other characters. And I guess I won't give away the actual ending of the show, but he is multiple steps ahead. And ironically, the one character I would say that would not survive this show is the inspector. Because he believes that he is, 4 steps ahead of everybody else, but actually multiple other characters are always 2 steps ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the dead body at the beginning of the show, Charles Haversham, would probably be the one most likely to survive. That or Perkins, because I just think Perkins is so like unaware of everything happening that I don't even see how he could be in danger.
Yeah, he's just a funny guy.
I
love Perkins. Perkins is my favorite character in the show. Yeah. Is there any like behind the scenes like joke or like secret that we have that no one would know about?
I don't. You could probably answer that question better than I could. Any behind the scenes joke? I know that Miss Spurrier said she really wants to find a way to insert a prop from Mean Girls into the show, for really no reason at all.
Yeah.
So that could become an inside joke. I don't know. I can't really think of another one. I don't know if you have any ideas.
We have a lot of like we incorporate a lot of stuff from Mean Girls into our practices and stuff like that.
Right. So I would say that. I mean, and I think that's true with every show. Like I always like bringing back callbacks from last year's show into the current one, kind of as like an Easter egg. So I think that would probably be the only one I could think of. I'm sure we'll get something else before showtime.
Yeah. So, like, within opening night, so if there were something to actually, like, go wrong during, opening night, what would some advice that you would give to the cast during that? If something actually goes wrong during the show.
The show must go on unless there are lives on the line.
That makes sense.
In this show, one of the first things to happen that really truly goes wrong is a lead character gets knocked out by a door midway through the show. Yes, I do believe that the show must go on. Yes, I do believe, if at all possible, that, you do need to push through, and I think there's value in that. So that would kind of be my advice is, yes, push forward, make it make sense, make it work, as long as no one is hurt. And if that person is hurt, is there a way that we can tend to them without stopping the show? But if we have to stop the show to really ensure that someone is okay, then I have no problem doing that because, there's always an agreement with the audience that the stuff you see on stage is not really happening. and they're going to pretend like they can't see the audience, but they can. But we always have to remember that the audience is the other character in the room. And if you do something if something happens on stage that is a serious problem, the audience, like, they're empathetic. They will understand if you need to go out there and handle a situation. But yeah, other than that, other than someone's life being on the line, I mean, if we have to just, if the power goes out, we got to get some flashlights and keep it going, we'll keep it going.
Okay, good to know. If there was any character you would play in The Play That Goes Wrong, who would it be and why?
I don't know. Probably Robert, which in our cast is Rachel. But Mr. Collymore, Thomas Collymore is his name. I like that character because he's supposed to be this very serious and, like, I don't know, intense character, and I think that could be played very interestingly. Yeah, so it's a good mixture between the physical comedy, because if you want to do the physical comedy character, that's Max or Jonathan. Either one requires a lot of physicality, whereas if you're Perkins, which is Dennis/Denise, then you're a little bit less physical with your acting. So I think Thomas would be a good, Robert/Rachel would be a good mix of the two.
Got you. What are, like, some of the funniest or unexpected things a cast member has done during blocking that you like?
I don't know. I mean, again, to take it back to Ellie, we play the Pink Panther theme at the beginning of the show to kind of as like an introductory thing. And every time we've played it, she, like, moves with the beat of the song. That's always been something funny that I remember. She throws in, like, little words in between her lines and stuff. Another thing I can think of that is probably one of my favorite scenes is the character of Max has to slip and fall a lot during the show.
Yeah.
And one time during a fight scene, the character is supposed to fall and his sword breaks, and then he gets, like, a little teeny tiny, like, sword handle. And one time we were running it, and the guy who plays Max in the main cast, Richard Casada, slips, and as he slips, he was holding a I want to say it was like a pen or something like that. It fell out of his hand, and it just perfectly twirls and then lands on the couch as he's falling down. And we weren't even expecting it to happen. Like, we weren't even expecting the fall. I forgot that was even in the scene. And then he executed the fall perfectly. And then there's like a little thing. And it was hilarious. The pen was a paid actor. And the door is also a paid actor because it's really squeaky and we're not going to fix it. So,
oh, yes, the door. Oh, my gosh. I feel like it's really funny, like, when people are, like, coming in and out and it's, like, slowly the creaking. I'm like, that door.
The
it
door
needs to
is
stay.
funny.
It needs to stay like that.
We're not oiling it at all. It's staying like that. And also, anytime that Sandra gets pulled out of the window, that's one of my favorite scenes. And I can't wait to see that with actual curtains.
Oh, yeah, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
If there was any piece of advice you would give to your past self before knowing you would do this show, what would it be?
That's a decent question. Past advice I would give to myself before doing this show? I would say do a bit more research into the gimmicks of the show and, like, how to build the set in certain ways. Because, like, right now I'm running into a problem where we have a rotating bookshelf, and I figured out how to make the bookshelf rotate, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do. But I can't get the bookshelf to, like, stop moving when it needs to. And I've tried magnets, and those did not work. And so I'm going to be able to reuse the magnets, but I need another method of getting the door to stop. And the way it's been built currently, it's probably, I'm either going to have to rebuild it or we're just going to have to find a different way. So that's a little frustrating. And then also just really reading over the script with a technical eye. Like, I knew the plot of the story, but I forgot how many gimmicks happen with the set. And then if I could go back now, I would redesign one of the doors on stage left, because there's a plot point that happens where the door falls off, and the way I built it, that can't happen. So I can either rebuild it, which I can't really do because I don't have enough materials to do that. So we've changed it, we've adjusted it, but I do think the way we've changed it is less funny than how it would be otherwise, and so I regret that.
Okay.
So yeah, just being more intentional with reading the script with a technical eye, not so much just understanding the storyline.
Is there any things that you would say you're proud of our cast, both main and understudy?
Yeah, I mean, just the time commitment. This has been a lot of time for a play. Plays are, not as big of a undertaking as a musical. It's been a reduced timeline. We're already going later on average than any other rehearsal process I've done before. So, I mean, asking kids to stay until 6 o'clock almost every day after school for a lot of y'all is a big ask. And that's a big ask for the parents too, if they're picking people up. And I've been just very impressed with the kids who have, been there the full time, every time, done what I've asked. They haven't been causing disruption. Just, I mean, the commitment to the process has been just very impressive to me. I was honestly expecting more people to drop out than they have. So that's a good thing. And then committing to the physical comedy, probably the two of the people I'm probably most impressed with currently are you and, which I haven't even seen you do the full scene yet, but you and Ellie, as far as committing to the whole Annie bit, because there's a lot of physicality with that. Like when we do the fall out the window, that's going to be big. And then Ali Mendoza and Michaela Bryant, both of them playing Sandra, they have to do a lot of physical, like get hit by the door, fall out the window. They both have a chase scene with the character of Max. So, and it's taking a very awkward scene and making it funny. So, I mean, just the physical commitment, I think, has been really impressive. And y'all have been very willing to do things that are unconventional. Most people wouldn't assume you would be doing in theater, but I think it's making the show very special and very unique and very funny.
Yeah, I knew, like, when I was auditioning, I knew about a little bit about the characters, but I didn't know, like, the big, like, fight that was going to happen between Sandra and Annie. Like,
next week is going to be crazy.
Yeah, because that's when the fight happens.
Yeah, so I need another mattress to put on the floor. So, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll end quickly for some lightning round questions. So just answer these questions, like the first thing that pops up to your mind.
Okay.
Answer them. Okay. Tea or coffee before rehearsals?
Coffee.
Early rehearsals or late night prep sessions?
Late night.
Comedy or drama? Prefer directing?
Ooh. Drama.
Drama? Okay.
Yeah.
What song best matches the vibe of the cast? Understudy and main.
Hungry Like the Wolf, Duran Duran.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
And if the play that goes wrong was a dessert, what would it be?
What kind of question is that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What is the first dessert that comes to your mind?
The first dessert coming to my mind right now is flan.
Flan?
Yeah. I don't know why. That is... Okay. Maybe I just want Mexican food right now.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I can think of.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to do this.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah.
So we can't wait to see, the play that goes wrong and be in it. So, yeah. So thank you.